First at 4, a funeral home discovers a young woman thought to be dead is actually alive. This is her mother.
I'm devastated that my daughter is going through what she's going through.
We will have more of that interview and where the investigation stands this afternoon. Detroit's police chief has a message for protesters he says are looking to break the law. His promise, Detroit is not Seattle. Here's Ben.
Karen, we've seen some storms already fire up, and believe it or not, we could have them on every day this work week. And the latest on the 2 tropical systems we're watching to the south. It's all right now, first at 4.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
And we've got breaking news from California in a murder case the entire nation followed. The death penalty for Scott Peterson has been overturned. If you recall, it was back in 2002, Lacey Peterson disappeared while she was 8 months pregnant. Eventually, her body was found and Peterson was charged and convicted with murder. Today's California Supreme Court overturned his death penalty because it agrees some jurors were improperly dismissed from the jury pool. However, the court upheld Peterson's murder conviction. Now prosecutors will have to decide if they want to pursue the death sentence with a new jury. We'll bring you more reaction as it becomes available. A local mother is demanding answers right now after her daughter is declared dead, then is found breathing again at a funeral home. On Sunday afternoon, EMS was called to a home where a 20-year-old woman was unresponsive. Now we're told those Southfield paramedics worked to revive her for about 30 minutes before telling the woman's mother she did not make it. Well, hours later, that mother gets a call from Cole's Funeral Home in Detroit saying her daughter was alive and breathing.
Your daughter is on her way to Sinai Grace Hospital. She's breathing. She's alive. This devastated my life. Then she just told me, no, ma'am, your daughter is breathing. Your daughter is breathing. I said, what do you mean? What do you mean she's breathing?
The Southfield Fire Department says all city, county, and state protocols were followed, but it has launched an internal investigation. And there are many questions on this one. The defender, Sean Lay, is going to join us with more answers tonight at 5. We're hearing from Police Chief James Craig today after a protest in downtown Detroit turned to chaos this past Saturday, with Detroit police arresting 42 people. The protest was organized by the group Detroit Will Breathe to speak out against federal agents sent by the Trump administration to address a rise in gun violence. The group stated they would not leave until the feds leave. Around midnight, police began giving warnings before ultimately using tear gas to disperse the crowd.
I am not going to let any group set up a Seattle zone of lawlessness here in the city of Detroit. That is non-negotiable.
Chief Craig says the department will always allow and protect lawful protesters, but once these protesters started placing barricades to mimic a Seattle zone of lawlessness, the decision was made to start making arrests. 2 local colleges are taking 2 very different paths towards the fall semester. Eastern Michigan University in Ypsilanti is delaying students' move-in day until September 17th because of COVID-19 concerns. Students will receive prorated credits for the time they're not living in university housing. But just a few miles away, University of Michigan students are moving into the Ann Arbor campus housing today. So far, U of M is planning a hybrid of in-person and online classes. We've got a crew on campus, and we'll take a closer look at the COVID changes facing students tonight at 5. Now, here's a quick look at the latest COVID numbers from the state of Michigan. Today, we're hearing about 868 new cases in the past 24 hours. That brings the total to more than 97,000. Also, today, 4 additional deaths have been recorded. That means we've lost nearly 6,400 Michiganders since the crisis began. We've been tracking a double tropical threat for days, but there is some encouraging news right now as one storm is losing some of its power. Still, the Gulf Coast is on high alert right now as 2 storms threaten states from Alabama to Texas. Many are boarding up and sandbagging, preparing for the worst. The 2-storm combination would make history. The storm called Marco hitting land first. Now, meantime, Tropical Storm Laura is just churning south of Cuba after killing at least 11 people in the Dominican Republic and Haiti. The second storm is not expected to weaken. In fact, Laura could get stronger as it moves into the warm, deep waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Meteorologist Ben Bailey tracking this very rare double threat And our local weather as well. Ben.
Yeah, Karen, you're right. These are two storms. Marco is up top. That's the first one. Even though it is a tropical storm right now, that's by far the weaker. Likely coming ashore is the depression. Laura is down there near Cuba. You see it at the bottom of your screen. That's the storm that could become a Category 2 hurricane, likely making landfall sometime Wednesday night there in western portions of Louisiana. So we'll have more on that coming up in weather. Storm Tracker 4, we've had one severe thunderstorm warning in the southern end of Wayne County so far today. So far, just a couple other lightning strikes out there that we've been tracking. Most of the area is dry, but we are all hot and sweaty. Temperatures today close to 90 degrees. They will be for most of this work week, and it does not look like we're going to get a break on the humidity anytime soon. More chances also of severe weather later in the week. We'll run it all down for you coming up in just a few minutes. Karen?
All right. Thank you, Ben. Now let's talk about Decision 2020. President Trump and the Republican National Convention take center stage today, 1 week after the Democrats had their turn. President Trump is putting his personal stamp on the proceedings. Devin Skillian in the newsroom. And Devin, we've already heard from the president today.
Yeah, pretty much out of the gate, Karen. Traditionally, the party's candidate keeps a pretty low profile over the first few days of the convention, building up to the big acceptance speech on the final night, but not with President Trump. Just hours ago, President Trump officially won the Republican nomination for the president. No drama there. Nevada's 25 delegates put him over the top. A scaled-down roll call in the convention center in Charlotte, North Carolina. Democrats did everything virtually, of course, and Joe Biden pretty much staying at home. President Trump was in Charlotte today to rally the troops, and his message that he was doing a great job until COVID-19 came along.
But the best way to bring unity is success. Success brings unity, and we were there, and then we got hit with the plague.
President Trump also scheduled to take part in some way in all of the primetime events all week long. Today, Joe Biden's campaign announced they had raised $70 million over the 4 days of their convention. We'll see how the Republicans stack up against that. Don't forget, NBC has live coverage tonight starting at 10 p.m., followed by Local 4 News at 11. And Karen, I would invite you to be with me for that.
Sounds good. We'll see you. Well, we'll see you at 5, 6, and 11. All right. Thanks, Devin. Well, she is one of the most visible and powerful women in the White House, but Kellyanne Conway is leaving her post at the end of the month. She tweeted her announcement overnight, saying she needs to spend more time with her family. She wrote, quote, "For now and for my beloved children, it will be less drama, more mama." Conway's teenage daughter has been tweeting about alleged issues in the home, even threatening to seek emancipation. Conway's husband, George, says he's leaving the anti-Trump Project Lincoln. Kellyanne Conway will still speak at the Republican National Convention later this week. A local woman is desperate today because she needs help, not for herself, but to help others. The COVID-19 crisis has had a devastating impact on her monthly deliveries to Detroit's homeless. And as Paula Tutman shows us, the work she's been doing for years out of her broken down, beat up bus has come to a screeching halt.
Everybody knows God's favor.
We met Louise Fincher in January, just 62 days before COVID-19 put the brakes on the entire world. On the day we rode around with her as she made her rounds to streets in front of Detroit's churches and homeless gathering spots, she was a fixture on the third Monday morning of every month.
God loves you. Hey, you need a blanket?
She's not a businesswoman. She doesn't have a nonprofit. She is simply a servant who made it her life's mission to do God's work.
I really feel led to keep up the ministry. It's been a part of my heart.
Today, when you travel her usual route, the first thing you notice is the people. Her people. The people she cares most about are mostly gone.
I went downtown in my car and I tried to look around for everybody, and I cannot see the NSO is closed or where the homeless went.
Many of the homeless she often helps, who often seemed tossed to the wind to begin with, have been further dispersed by the virus.
I can't believe they're just vanished like that. It's odd, very odd.
The shelters where she was once welcome with her food and clothing and supplies, she says, are now on lockdown, and rightfully so.
It's hard for me to be able to reach anybody to give out what I've got, food and the message and clothing and anything.
And even if she can find her people, the people she cares most about, her rickety old bus is in its last few miles. And even though she lives what she preaches, that she is indeed her brother's keeper and her sister's too, COVID-19 is claiming Yet another victim. Her ministry.
They do need things that I have got on my bus. I fill it to the top, and I'm just sitting there waiting to go. So I'm kind of frustrated because I can't, I'm just blocked from doing anything. And I don't know where to turn.
You can really feel her anguish. And of course, because we live in Michigan, we know that winter is coming, and she's going to need, and people are going to need coats and gloves and mittens. But this is one of those cause and effects of COVID-19 that maybe we don't really think about. There's so many people, Karen, who need help, but how do we help the people who are trying to help those people?
You have profiled her various times throughout the years, and it is so frustrating because you see she has the biggest heart, she has the best intentions, but if she can't get through to the right people, you just sit there dumbfounded like, what's next? She's got to just be heartbroken.
Right, what do you do?
Yeah, well, hopefully the story might be able to help. We sure hope so, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Still ahead, first at 4. We've got a new reminder that Detroit is the one and only home of the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin. Also, German doctors weigh in about the possible poisoning of a top Russian opposition leader. Turns out they don't agree with the diagnosis of Russian doctors. But first, we'll show you a tense moment where the Postmaster General on Capitol Hill, by one member of Congress, invoked the name of Roger Stone. We've got that story right after the break.